Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a good day everyone. I'm Suhana Ahmad. I'm going to present my research on the title The Content Validation of Malaysian Dyslexia Accommodating Screening Test, MIDAS, through the application of fuzzy Delphi method. The outline of this presentation will be: first, background of the study; second, problem statement; third, research objectives, followed by research questions, literature review. Next, the methodology will be discussed, followed by the results and discussion, and finally, the conclusion. First, let's look at the background of the study. Measuring and reporting the content validity of an instrument is one vital aspect in any research. Content validity is guaranteed by three sources: literature review, representation of relevant population in the sampling, and experts' judgment. This is mentioned by Matore, Idris, Rahman, and Khairani in 2017. Creswell, 2014, emphasizes that the proof of content validity can be obtained from empirical evidence as well as experts in the field judgment. Now, let's go to the problem statement. Dyslexia is a very common learning disability. It is estimated that about 10% of the world's population has dyslexia. This is mentioned by Marshall 2016. So, what's the problem? The inability to identify which child is having this problem results in teachers and parents having problems in helping them to learn effectively. Mentioned by Reid 2012. A test battery named Malaysian Dyslexia Accommodating Screening Test, MIDAS, has been recently developed. The constructs of MIDAS need to be validated before it can be tested on the sample. Therefore, this research is basically about validating the construct of MIDAS. Now, let's look at the research objectives. The first objective is to examine the main components of MIDAS. Second, to examine the elements of MIDAS. Third, to examine the sequence of the elements in the main components of MIDAS. Therefore, the research questions are: number one, what are the main components of MIDAS based on experts' agreement? Number two, what are the elements in the main components of MIDAS based on experts' agreement? Number three, what are the sequence of the elements in the main components of MIDAS? Now, let's look at a bit of literature review regarding content validation using fuzzy Delphi method. Fuzzy Delphi method is a research technique introduced by Murray et al. 1985 by combining Delphi technique and fuzzy set theory. Delphi technique is a research technique introduced by Olaf Holmer and Norman Dalkey, which has been used widely to get experts' opinions via surveys, mentioned by Manakandan, Ismail, Ridwan, Jamil, and Raghunath, 2017. It is very important for researchers who want to use fuzzy Delphi method to know that there are two main things: triangular fuzzy numbers, and the second one is the defuzzification process. Now let's move to data collection method. In phase 1, extensive literature search on dyslexia identification among primary school pupils was conducted. The findings from this literature search has guided the researcher to produce MIDAS. In phase 2, 15 professional experts and lay experts from various related backgrounds were gathered to validate this instrument. In phase 3, the experts were briefed on the research and the procedures to fill in the expert validation form. During this briefing, the researcher get together and meet the expert from different universities and organizations such as Dyslexia Center, and some of the experts are educational psychologists, clinical psychologists, and teachers who are experts in dyslexia in order to validate the form. So they were given the form to fill in to mention their agreement on the items included in each construct of MIDAS. In phase 4, the score of experts' agreements on the 230 items indicators were then converted into triangular fuzzy numbers based on the experts' responses, meaning they have to mention whether they strongly agree or quite agree and so on, and the last scale was strongly disagree. So, what's the result of the study? From the fuzzy Delphi content validation procedure, it was found that out of the 15 construct, one out of the 15 construct must be omitted based on the experts' opinion, the consensus of the experts. Okay, so a rhyming is one construct that must be omitted, and the other 14 constructs are accepted by all the 15 experts. At the beginning, the number of items were 230, accepted by the experts only 161 items, and to be revised 24 items, and to be deleted 45 items based on the experts' opinion. Okay, what about the accepted constructs by the experts? Those constructs are letter naming, non-word reading, word reading, blending, segmenting, syllable detection, sound matching, reading comprehension, oral comprehension, digit span, reverse digit span, reading aloud, spelling, and rapid automatized naming. So finally, in the end, only 14 out of 15 constructs were accepted by the experts. So, in conclusion, content validation is crucial in the development of an instrument such as MIDAS. Fuzzy Delphi method is a useful technique that can be used to validate the items in an instrument based on a panel of experts' agreement. The application of Fuzzy Delphi method could show the strengths and weaknesses of item through experts' consensus agreement. That's all from me. Thank you.